Keith Scott. I'm an artist currently living in Chicago, Illinois, originally from Toledo, Ohio. I've been a visual artist for about 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. My visual creation, I operate in a lot of different media. I draw, I paint, do more traditional things. In that way, I collage. It's one of my passions in a sense when it comes to traditional creation. I also create digitally. It's one of my more recent media that I've began to create within. My style is a mixture of a lot of different things. I love to experiment with a lot of different materials. Abstraction is what brought me into creating as an artist. I also can create a little bit more realistically when I create with graphite, with pencil and paper and such. But yeah, I like to consider myself a more well-rounded artist. I'm still learning a lot of different things though, so it's very exciting for me. And what brought me into creating, I had always wanted to create. I always wanted to be an artist. I never thought I could. And one day I took a class, and while I was in undergrad, and I was like, yeah, I can do this. That's essentially what started it for me. And from there, like I mentioned, abstraction was what really kind of carried me through a lot of different things, artistically and personally. And it actually inspired me to create my own company. So my company is called Escape Art Space. It's fairly new, growing on a daily basis. But as of now, the bulk of it is my workshops. I have workshops that I do online, and then of course my merchandise is my art, my prints that I sell for my digital creations, then also my original pieces. I'll talk about the workshops for a hot second. So the workshops, they're called Abstract to Heal. They're visual journaling workshops. And if you don't know what visual journaling is, essentially it is just like handwritten journaling, but visualizing, right? So using creation as a way to journal, it's just kind of like a free form, freehand expression with your mind and body. They kind of come together in like the snap of a moment, as I've experienced in my own personal creation, and that's what I've used for the workshops. So yeah, the workshops have 3 components. The first component is creation, or create. It's pretty self-explanatory. That's where we start the journaling process, right? I give you a bit of a prompt, but it's as free as you allow it to be. And there is no certain way to do anything. I'm not expecting any type of like technique or form, anything like that. It's about just connecting with your body and connecting with the materials that we have and flowing with it all. And allowing your body and your mind to speak to you in ways that maybe you haven't known that it needed to speak to you, right? So that's the first component. The other component, the next component, is reflect, or reflection. And that's also self-explanatory. It's where we use journals. We use a journal. This is just like one of my blank journals. I'll get to that as well. But you just journal, and you reflect. And that's where I would provide prompts for you to reflect on throughout your process as you've created. And then lastly, share. We group share. As I said, right now the workshops are online through Zoom. And in the coming months, probably during the new year, I'll start doing in-person shows here in Chicago. So be on the lookout, folks. But so that's the workshops. And then the other aspect of the company right now is my art and journals. The journal I just showed right here, it's one of my newer journals. It's part of my new like merch launch of art books is what I call them. I'm just making original art on journals or sketchbooks, if you want to call it that. They're just blank pages, right? And they come in a couple different sizes. This is one of them. And then in another part of the video, you'll see the other journal size that I have. So yeah, with the custom journals, you can either commission me to create one, or you can just choose from my original selection that I have. You can find that online at escapeartspace.com. And then I have prints as well, and my original works, as you can maybe you can see them behind me. I'm not sure the camera angle, but yeah, that's Escape Art Space. Like I said, it's growing every day. I'm always adding new elements to it, and looking for ways to bring folks together with art, and find new ways to do that. So that's a passion of mine, and that's something that I've been building for some time, and I will just keep putting work to build it. You can find me on Instagram at escape_artspace. Like I said, my website is escapeartspace.com. You can find me on Facebook, Escape Art Space, TikTok as well. I'm looking to be more active. So yeah, Key Scott, check. Okay, here's a selection of some of my art. I will just go through every piece individually. So these three pieces right here, these three, they're actually a part of my custom journal collection. I do custom journals, as I mentioned, as a part of Escape Art Space. You can either go one of two ways if you're ordering a journal from my website. The one way is to essentially, you're commissioning me to create one. Although I have specific journal styles for you to choose from, and then you select how you want it to look in terms of like different decorations and color choices, color schemes, what you want written on it, if you want to word it all. So that's that. And then these two are more original pieces. This one is what I call an art book. It's a part of what I've just added to my site, soon to be added. This is called Find Me in the Woods. It was just created like within this past month. And yeah, it's a part of a selection of journals that I have that still is original to me, but then you have an option for it to be a journal. So I feel like there's a really cool interactive way to have art. And then I can show you all elements of it. The front, side, and back, if the lighting will be right for me. For the most part, you can see it's very textured. It's what I love to do in my work. And then here's the back of it. So that's that. This one is a part of one of my journal styles. It's from the release style. I don't always decorate the back of them, but sometimes I do. I just chose to do it on this one. All right, so that's some selection. You can find the rest online, escapeartspace.com. Here is one of my more recent pieces that I've just made, an original work. It's inspired by my trip abroad that I took. I traveled in Europe a little bit while I studied abroad in Rome during my undergrad. So that's just a mixture of a lot of visitor, tourist, like pamphlets and stuff that I accumulated during my travels. And I collaged all those different things together. I used, obviously you see paint on here, and then this is kind of an interactive type of thing because it's a pamphlet. So that was pretty fun to add on there. You see I got glitter on there. It's very mixed media. And then if you're able to tell, if you look really close, this is the map. This is the map that I got of like Berlin, like touristy spots and stuff like that. I wrapped the whole canvas in that. So that's that piece here, untethered and remade. Some of my digital works from earlier in the year that I made. This one is Next Stop Universe. It's a part of a series that I'm doing. This is Self to Self, a Revelation. That'll probably be a series as well. So yeah, in a small nutshell, this is some of my work. As I mentioned, if you want to view a fuller selection, you can go online at escapeartspace.com. If you want to order journals or prints, or even have some originals for sale online, you can do that all there. You can also find me on Instagram at Escape Art Space. So yeah.